Welcome back to CC's Garage. Today we're going to go over something I've been working on. Haven't put any videos out on it yet. You will see it's the picture that comes up for my garage. This is my 71 Ford F-350. I've had it since December the 31st and been doing a little bit of work on it. You will also see laying at the back of it here is my beautiful puppy, Princess. She keeps me a lot of company. But this truck, when I got it, had already had it changed out from the 16.5s to the 16 and done away with the split rims. I did come back and find a way to install center caps and the beauty rings. Well, the beauty rings wasn't anything hard to do. The center caps went on relatively easy for front. They just snapped right over the lug nuts. The back ones, because it's a dual rear wheel and these center caps are set up for single rear wheel, I had to put an extra set of lug nuts on to hold them in place. Today I'm actually been working on putting a gear Vendors Overdrive in. I'll show you a picture of it under the truck here in a few minutes. But I'm going to be putting in the electronic portion. It comes with a little rocker switch, which is not what I want. I want to set it up like an old switch on a 2-speed rear end, which I went and picked up yesterday. This is the mountain bracket that it comes with. Well, it's a little too big to go on the shifter here in the small hole. I've already figured that out. I'm just going to use something to take up the distance. But you will see, get the knob back off here, that the large hole is way too big for this. So I've got to come up with a way to fix it. And by the way, I am not sponsored. Anything you see me use, I have paid full price for or picked up at a swap meet. So right now I'm going to shut you off. We're going to go in the garage. I'm going to find the piece to make the sleeve to take, or the bushing to take up the distance between the thread diameter here and this hole. So we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Here are a few of the items that I looked at using. Started with this. It would work. I could turn it down and get it to work in the lathe. It will go up over that pretty good. I would have been turning down this solid portion. But the inside diameter is way too big. I looked at this, ended up with the same thing. Now this nut, it would work. But again, inside diameter. This sleeve's definitely not going to do it. Well, I run across this other fitting. It will work. The only thing is the hole gets a little small through the middle. So the shaft, the threaded portion for the nut, stops at the lip. Well, that's okay because I don't need the whole length. If you look, it doesn't go in the hole. And it is way taller than what I need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and check this up in the lathe and drill out the center portion, and then I will come back and cut this portion down. So we're going to hold on a minute and we're going to go check this up in my lathe, which has become very useful on this truck. I've already used it once on this installation. If it hadn't been for my lathe, I would not have been able to get the gear vendors in the way it needed to go. So hold on a minute, we'll get set up in the lathe and I'll bring you right back. Okay, here we are at the lathe. I'm just using my 3-jaw chuck. It's pretty well set up, in and out. And since this really isn't a critical dimension, I'm not going to be indicating it in. We'll lock down on it. I've already marked the outside diameter of the threaded portion, and it comes up to roughly 3/8, a little under 3/8. So I went and got a 3/8 drill bit to put in here. So let me get this checked up. And I do have on my safety glasses. Tighten this down. Now this, a little about this lathe, it's from somewhere in the 1940s roughly. It does have the cross feed, the back feed, all powered. I bought it out of an estate auction. Did have some of the tools. It did not. It did have a tool post holder for the quick change, but it didn't have any of the holders, so I just bought another one. Now, when we go to start this, we're going to go ahead and put a little oil in here, which I really need to come up with a better way than this. Starting to think I'm out of oil. Of course, I'm out of oil. Let me go get some. Hold on. Okay, we're back. I now have some oil. Get it. Got it oil. Now there is one thing with this lathe. When you start it, you have to kind of give it a little push. So we're just going to run this in and drill it out a little ways. I will tell you, I have worked as a machinist, but I'm not going to tell you I am a top-notch machinist. It's been over 20 years since I've done any type of machinist work. My last machinist job was for Bogle on their building turbos in Asheville. I've worked for Biocline. I worked for a company called Carolina Knife. It was my first job as a machinist. Started that out right after high school. So I've got a little bit of experience. Carolina Knife, we were running sharpening big knives, trimmers, slitters, used to cut paper. Champion Paper was one of our big customers. We did work for Sunoco, Hart Graphics, which used to print the TV Guide. I know I'm showing my age there. But so I've had a little machinist experience. I just decided that I'm at a time where I have a little disposable income, and I've always wanted my own shop lathe, so I bought this one. I've also got a big upright bandsaw that was made around 1901. I've also got a Atlas horizontal mill that I did attachment on to do a vertical mill. One day I'll show that to you when I get started. Okay, this should be deep enough. I'm going to back out here, and I'm going to change the setup around a little bit, so we'll be right back. Okay, I've moved it around. I've changed to my cutoff tool, which I'm going to tell you, I've not had any luck with this before, so we're going to try it again. To make sure it was straight, I come in and touched off right here. No gap, so we know we're straight there. So now I'm going to roll back in, get close, and figure about where I want to cut it. Like I said, none of this is precision, so I got there. We're going to go ahead, grab the oil can, put a little oil on here, and start it again. But one thing I've got to remember to do is to lock down the cross table slide. Well, not the cross slide, but the carriage. And now we're going to start cutting and see how this works. Now, every other time I've tried to use it, I've been trying to cut steel. So this time I'm cutting brass. So we're going to find out how it's going to work. I think one of my problems is I might have the tool out too far. So we're just going to take our time and feed it slowly. Okay, you get the idea what I'm doing. I'm going to cut the camera off and I'll come back when I get done. Okay, we're back. As you can see, the piece is turned. And it fits, just a little bit of play, which when I tighten the nut down on there, it'll be fine. Now my cutoff did not go quite as I planned. You can see where I was running it, but it came off back here, so it was thin where I'd already drilled it, so it just popped right off. So what I ended up doing is just taking a file and running across this in the lathe to get rid of the burr. Now, as you can still see, that won't just drop down in there. But that's okay, because I want to be able to offset it a little bit. So what I'm going to do is take it to a sander and sand on these points. Take them more off. That way I can shift it away from the shifter knob a little bit more, just give me a little bit more room to play with it. So I'll bring you back when I get done doing that. Okay, I brought you back out to the truck where we have a little bit more light. As you can see, this piece of brass plumbing fitting that I reworked, I sanded it around. You'll notice that one side has more off than the others. It fits in perfect. So here we go. We're going to see if I can get the camera set up to where we can, and I'll mount it and show you what I got going on. Okay, there we go. Now, like I said, I'll show you with the put this on. And you know, gear vendors can't make everything one size fits all like a pair of shorts. Now this could be because the paint's wore off in this old truck, but still, it's pretty easy to fix. Get everything moved around here again. I'm going to use a little two-sided tape. And I've already tested this with an old piece. It just needs to be a little piece. As you can see, it's not even the full row. I'm going to come inside. And place it like that. I'm not even going to take the extra tape, the second side off of it. We'll come in here. Flip this over because it's got a place on one side I really don't want showing up. And we'll tighten it down. And it'll move a little bit, but not much. Tighten it a little more. So, as you can see, it's pretty well where I want it. Now I'm going to come back in with the switch. I'm going to go ahead and assemble the switch. Pretty close to the way I want it. We'll take and loosen this Allen bolt back up. I just wanted enough to get the switch to go in. Which is right about there. Okay. Now, as you can see, I've still got adjustment for the wiring. Fine. Do you ever find that whenever you lay something, it moves on you before you can find it again? Okay, there it is. Get the and so what you want is you want to be able to grip it, the shifter in it. You can pull up and push down, and that just is your on-off switch. Is all it does to turn the gear vendor on. So I'm gonna get off here. I'm gonna go find me a washer to put here, and I'll probably go ahead and paint it black. That way it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. And I'll be back and show